Okay, so don't panic. The first time I saw these guidelines, I was really worried that something was wrong with my editor because this was only affecting my own site and I wasn't sure exactly what was going on. Now I know for you, the first time you see these design guidelines, you probably thought there was something wrong with your screen or your site glitched out. But trust me, this is actually a good thing. These colors you see here are not problems. They are the solution to your Wix Studio editor. They help you to line up your elements perfectly on your editor so that your website looks clean and professional. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can fix this or how you can get rid of it if you don't need it. Now, before we get started, I'm Walter and I teach Wix and Wix Studio tutorials. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to my channels because I release videos like this to fix your Wix and Wix Studio websites. And you also don't want to miss out on updates, so don't forget to turn on your bell notification to be alerted when I release videos like this. Now, I don't want to waste any of your time, so let's get started. Alright, so here we are on this editor and you can see these guidelines here that look as though your editor is broken. Now, this can actually be a little bit uncomfortable to the eye, especially when you're trying to drag things around or trying to edit something on your screen. But I'm going to show you how to get rid of this or how to use it to better your design experience in Wix Studio. Now, you're going to head over to this icon here, this Wix Studio icon. Now, click on that and head over to Tools. Now you're going to go over to the editor add-ons and here you're going to go over to manage add-ons, and this is the element that is causing all this havoc, and if you hover on it you can see that you can remove it since I already have it installed. So go to delete app and that is totally going to get rid of the guidelines. Now again, the guidelines are actually very helpful, and if you want to get them back, you can also head back to the icon there and head over to the tools and then over to editor add-ons, and here you're going to click on get add-ons. Now there are several add-ons here, but one we're working on this tutorial is the design guide. So go ahead and add these guides to your website. Now if you're working on a client's website and for some reason they added this to their website without knowing, this is how you can turn that off, or you can also configure it for best practices. Now for some reason red was the color that it chooses in most cases, and as you can see we have here something called the columns, and you can see we have 8 columns, and that is the total number of guidelines that we have. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So you can also go ahead and increase the number of columns depending on the kind of arrangement you want to have on your website. And there are other types of guides. We also have the row guides, and if you scroll down here you can see this is the gap where we have different rows, but usually it comes in with a column, and you can also make use of the grid if you want to try out the horizontal and the vertical grid. Now let's head back to the columns because that's where we started from, and as you can see here we have the alignment. So you can decide to align it to the left, to the right, or to the center, or you can stretch it evenly across your editor. And here is where you control the number of columns that you want to add, and the margin grid is the distance between the guideline and the edge of your editor. So here if we go ahead and add 50, you can see we have a margin between the edge of our editor and the guidelines. So let's go back and revert that to 0, and the gutter width is the distance between each of the grids, so it's usually the same across all the columns that you have. And as you can see here, the column width is set to auto, and you can also change the color to whatever color you're using, but I think basically this picks the color, your primary color that you're using for your theme, and that is why it shows a rather red color. Maybe that's not the case for you, but you can always change what color the design guidelines are. Now again, they can be very useful, and if you want to turn them off you can always do so by going to this icon here and turning that off. And you can also go ahead and add in more guidelines, so you can also choose to change it to a row, and you can decide to add as much as 100 rows. And again, you can make use of all the other settings, and this will help you to know how to arrange your items properly within your editor. Now, as you can see, these items are probably in between the rows, but you can see that we have a distance between these parts. So these guidelines are very, very useful when you're trying to arrange or achieve that perfect, clean and professional website. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of the rows. And again, you can always hide that, or you can uninstall the add-on. All right, so I hope this tutorial was able to help you either get rid of the design guidelines or help you to know how to make use of it to arrange your items properly within your editor to give you a professional and elegant Wix Studio website. Again, I'm Walter, and thank you very much for watching. You can also check out my other tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video.